Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be about the narcissist's false apologies, how narcissists get you to apologise to them for the things they've done to you, and reasons why many narcissists just don't apologise at all, and if they do apologise, how they apologise in a way that shifts the blame straight over to you so they don't have to take responsibility for the very things they've done to you. The narcissist's false apology is a form of gaslighting your reality so that you take on the responsibility of their behaviour, and so that they can get away with their behaviour, so they don't have to face any consequences for their behaviour. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you overcome narcissistic abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. So when it comes to apologising to somebody, usually someone would recognise they've done something wrong, or hurt someone's feelings, or their behaviour wasn't who they usually are, and they would go and apologise for their actions with the "I'm sorry, I didn't realise," "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it," "I'm sorry, and then they take ownership of their behaviour, they learn from their mistake, and they don't repeat their behaviour. With a narcissist, they're not going to go through that direct route, because in order to give a genuine apology, first somebody needs to be able to reflect on their behaviour to see where they might have made a mistake. A narcissist often lack those cognitive reflection skills that are needed to reflect on their behaviour. Once they've made their mind up, they've made their mind up, and that's their truth. And anyone who goes against their truth to the narcissist is going against the narcissist. Those who are not on the spectrum of the disorder can usually reflect on their own behaviour and usually take responsibility for not only their behaviour but also other people's behaviour. They take ownership of what they have done, the choices they have made, and they also end up taking ownership of other people's choices. And it's good to be responsible for your own behaviour. It's good to reflect on your own behaviour. However, you do need to pass responsibility back to the rightful owner for theirs. You don't need to burden yourself with other people's mistakes. We have enough dealing with our own mistakes. To apologise, people need to be able to hold themselves responsible. They need to be able to reflect on the part they played in any given situation. They need to recognise that they might be primarily to blame for something. They need to take ownership of their own actions, which a narcissist doesn't want to do. They feel entitled to do as they please. They believe they are better than others. They believe they are superior. They are often envious of others, and they lack the empathy to care for others. Therefore, to a narcissist, they are that self-entitled hypocrite, where it is one rule for them and another rule for you. They don't want to be held responsible for anything where they might be exposed for their behaviour. They don't want to be held responsible for anything why they might be held accountable for their behaviour, where there might be consequences for their behaviour. Instead, they justify their behaviour within their own mind and blame somebody else, scapegoat somebody else to escape taking responsibility. So often they don't feel like they need to apologise because they don't feel like they're at fault. In order to apologise, people would need to feel remorseful. Those pangs of guilt that you feel, those pangs of shame that you feel when you've done something wrong. They need to be in tune with their own ego to be able to admit that wrongdoing and apologise to another person. With a narcissist, they lack the empathy to care for how their behaviour has affected another person. So they're not going to feel that guilt. They might feel the shame if other people can recognise what the narcissist has done, who thinks badly of the narcissist. And they are, in one way, people pleasers because they want other people to perceive them as something they're not. Whether they are aware or not of this is down to the individual narcissist. However, because they want to be recognised as a decent person that doesn't make many mistakes, they're going to escape somebody to take the blame for their mistakes so that they don't have to feel guilty, so that they don't have to feel shameful, so that they don't have to feel remorseful, because to the narcissist, it's someone else's fault. To offer a genuine apology, people usually want to repair any damage that they've caused. They'd want to restore the connection with that person, restore the faith, restore the trust, restore the loyalty. They'd want to show that person that they can admit to a mistake, and they would show that person by not repeating that mistake. As a narcissist has shifted the blame over to someone else, they don't feel that they're responsible, therefore they don't feel like they need to repair the damage. They feel like the other party needs to repair the damage. The other party needs to apologise to the narcissist. And because the narcissist has then got away with their behaviour, they repeat their behaviour. Narcissists are never sorry for what they've done to other people. They are only ever sorry if they get caught, and they often rationalise, justify, gaslight, deny, lie, project, do all they can to get out of taking any form of responsibility and pass the blame over to somebody else, which is a form of gaslighting. So where most people can recognise, can feel guilty, can want to repair the damage, genuine people, they will see what they've done, because we all make mistakes in life, and they will apologise to the other person. When it comes to a narcissist, they don't believe they've made a mistake. Therefore, a narcissist is going to come at you with, "You're jealous, you're insecure, that wasn't me, deal with it. Don't be so sensitive, stop overreacting. It wasn't that bad, you're losing your memory. If you hadn't, I wouldn't. I don't want to argue with you. That's just like you. What about when you're selfish, you're stubborn, you're awkward. Why do you have to make everything so difficult?" And then more often than not, you will find yourself apologising to them for the things that they did to you. When you find yourself apologising often for things you haven't done, that is a big red flag that somebody is gaslighting you to take the blame for their behaviour. If they're not willing to recognise their behaviour, they're not going to change their behaviour. The more you apologise to them, the more they believe you're the one at fault, or the more they believe they can get away with their behaviour. The more you forgive them, the worse their behaviour gets, because the more they recognise that they can get away with their behaviour by blaming you. Remember, forgiveness is for you so that you can leave your past behind. Forgiveness isn't to forgive them and let them hurt you again. Forgiveness is to recognise that you didn't understand what you was going through at that moment in time with the data that you had. And now you have new data, you can recognise what you were going through at that time. You can leave that time in the past and move on to your future. And if you are unlucky enough to get an apology from a narcissist, it's still one where they're going to gaslight your reality, because their apology is going to be done by shifting the blame over to you. It's those false apologies of, "I'm sorry if you hadn't. I'm sorry, but you didn't. I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry for how you took it. I'm sorry for what you think I did. I'm sorry if you'd have paid me more attention. I'm sorry, but what about when you?" I'm sorry if you'd have reminded me. I'm sorry if you'd have been there for me. When it comes to a narcissist apology, they start with I'm sorry. So you think they're sorry, but then they add on that if, but, or you, as they shift the blame straight over to you, and you more often than not will then find yourself apologising to them for the very things they are doing to you, for the very things they're projecting onto you or gaslighting you into believing is your fault, because they don't want to be held responsible for their own behaviour. And as you do hold yourself responsible for your own behaviour, you can often find yourself holding yourself responsible for other people's behaviour, and you need to stop burdening yourself with other people's mistakes. That is on them. If they aren't going to recognise their own mistake, they aren't going to learn from their own mistake, and you're not going to be able to teach them how to learn from their own mistake by taking responsibility for their mistake. We all have to take ownership for our own actions, and you cannot help somebody who's unwilling or unable to take ownership of theirs, or somebody that's only willing to take ownership if they can twist it to their advantage, if they are willing to apologise with the intentions of exploiting you some more. Repeated patterns of behaviour is who they are as a person. You did not cause that within them. You cannot change that for them, and you cannot control how you behave to control their behaviour. Their behaviour is on them. I shall add in the video description the other video I did on the narcissist false apology, which goes into more detail on the narcissist gaslighting, blame shifting and projection, because they all explain more on why narcissists won't apologise and how they shift the blame, how they tell on themselves through their own projection, into the description. I am currently full for one-to-one coaching. I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the description. There's lots of information in the description if you would like to take a look in there. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any thoughts on the video, please do add those into the comments. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.